Thunderf00t, you recently sent 2 public messages addressed to William, Craig and YouTube, and because I guess you expect these people to actually answer to you, I suppose you should be the first to give an example of how someone should behave when they receive such a public message.
For by your actions do we know you.
Now let's watch a fragment from your last video when you actually use the words academic integrity.
Never, Dr. Craig, use the words academic integrity again. Now that 2 citations, Craig has shown his true colours and has turned his nose up at sorting this out in a civilised fashion, it now falls to me to...
Now a few words about the Thunderf00t academic credentials used in this video. Now Thunderf00t, is not my fault that yourself made a video where you expose your own personal data. So apparently your real name and the place where you have worked, it's common knowledge for our atheist internet community.
Moreover, he seems intent on dropping my real name along with my YouTube account as much as possible, along with some bullshit about me being fired from Cornell for making threats of Holocaust on Muslims. Like I say, Craig, a nasty piece of work, perpetrating all of these acts under the banner of your name.
Even if you seem to be really upset when someone is using your real name, I hope you'll have no problem with me using only that data that yourself decided to make public.
Best wishes, Thunderf00t, aka Dr. Phil.
So apparently this Dr. Phil was involved with the Cornell University. Now everyone, please pay attention. The Cornell University was founded on April 27, 1865 by Elsa Cornell and Andrew Dickson White. Now, Andrew Dickson White was a good friend with John William Draper, and these 2 men are considered to be the founders of the conflict thesis. The conflict thesis basically states that science and religion have always been in a conflict and basically the 2 could not coexist. Now, while John William Draper wrote the book A History of the Conflict Between Religion and Science, his younger friend Andrew Dickson White wrote the book A History of the Warfare of Science with Theology in Christendom. Now, the thesis of these 2 men do not just state that science and religion sometimes may be in a conflict, but that there is a necessary conflict between science and religion. Now, in order to support this a priori idea, a lot of anti-clerical myths were brought up, and an entire history of a conflict, especially between science and Christianity, was built. The real sad thing is that we find the books of these 2 men on the conflict thesis on some universities and scientific sites being presented as historical studies when they actually belong to the science fiction area. When I'm saying this, I am thinking of the large number of historical errors that these books have. Now let's go back to Thunderf00t, who apparently is a Cornell alumni. I hope I said that correct. So Thunderf00t is a Cornell. Cornell was the first university which supported the conflict thesis, and Thunderf00t is the first YouTube atheist, far as I know, that started to support the Cornell Andrew Dickson White conflict thesis here on YouTube. Now Thunderf00t has presented on YouTube so well this Draper White thesis that has made a lot of atheists to basically go out of the closet and join Thunderf00t in saving the mankind. Or basically said, in the saving of the mankind game.
There is a war between rationality and religion, the outcome of which will determine the future of our species and of our planet.
Now in the next 2 minutes you are going to hear different fragments from Thunderf00t videos that are going to prove that the man has really supported the conflict thesis for the last few years here on YouTube.
And then the ultimate selfish act, forcing such evidently retarding beliefs onto the malleable minds of children. If they hadn't squandered their lives, just imagine where we would be now. Columbus wouldn't have been discovering America, he would have been landing on the moon.
It was not that Western nations were born out of Christian values.
such as slavery, burning witches, stoning adulterers, etc. But the Christian countries adopted what we would now describe as Western values, which led to their success. The lesson is clear. Unless you want to live in a savage Bronze Age biblical culture, learn from the harsh mistress of history.
Books were a good start, but were unfortunately prone to religious thoughts decreeing that learning was evil and burning down the combined knowledge gained by thousands in the libraries.
Christianity converted to Western values, and this was Europe's ticket out of the Dark Ages.
That has uncontestably and fairly been through the trial of fire of the academic arena, and withstood the scrutiny of the smartest people on the planet for the past 150 years.
Ultimately, I have faith that the modern voice of reason will hold the high ground versus the voice of Bronze Age superstitious antiquity. It is the voice of reason that carried us from the Bronze Age and delivered us the modern first world civilization in which we live today. We give in good faith the gift of free speech, purchased and defended by the blood of free thinkers, to the likes of Venom Fang X and other creationist Christians, such that their desecration of this highest of gifts may stand as a testament to the worth and merit of this movement and the arguments that they embody.
Allow me to jog your memory. Science, bitches. It works.
Thunderf00t, I suppose that by now all your supporters are silent. No one could deny that you indeed support the corner Andrew Dixon White conflict thesis. So what I want, Thunderf00t, is to challenge you to an academic debate or to a discussion. We could take this as you desire, where you will support the conflict thesis that you have supported here on YouTube for all these years, your university conflict thesis, and I will support the classical thesis, Thunderf00t, that there is no conflict. So this is a challenge from a European historian graduate to a Cornell alumni. I will even send this challenge to your Cornell University, where I will state that I challenge one of their alumni. Now, dear Dr. Phil, if this is your real name, anyway, from your 304 videos in almost 100, that is about 30%, you are making an appeal to the conflict thesis. All I am asking you is to put some fresh on your statements. You cannot call yourself a scientist and go out with theories that have no backup. Now, the last time when I challenged Thunderf00t, basically the Thunderf00t and the League of Reason, they said to me that I could participate in a show where I would debate Thunderf00t and another 3 persons. So basically I could not debate Thunderf00t alone. I just want to say that this time I'm not interested in something like that, appear at the Magic Sandwich or at the League of Reason. I want to debate with the man who has made the statements. Thunderf00t has pushed some academic statements about science and religion, about the Dark Age, about the conflict between Christianity and science, and so on. So I want to talk with the man who has made the scientific statements, and not with other people who have not made those statements. I also made 2 videos when I challenged Thunderf00t to try to prove the statements that he has made in his videos. For example, Thunderf00t has stated that without Christianity, Christopher Columbus would have landed on the moon, or that without Christianity, we the mankind, we will already colonize the universe. I kindly asked Thunderf00t to try to back these statements with something, and Thunderf00t has never done that. So what is this different? This is different because this is a challenge that I made to the man.
Never use the words academic integrity again.
So basically, Thunderf00t, you are challenged to defend a theory that you support since 2006. You are challenged both as an academic and as an atheist.
Never use the words academic integrity again.
If they hadn't squandered their lives, just imagine where we would be now. Columbus wouldn't have been discovering America, he would have been landing on the moon.